What's happening, guys? This is Legendary Nats, and we are back to episode 27. I believe it's 27. I'm still sick. Last couple episodes, I've kind of done something a little bit different by doing a bit of voiceover while playing the game in the background. So I hope that's not too weird or distracting or anything like that. But I was feeling too nauseous to even try to talk. So we're going to continue on. Now you may be wondering why I'm over here with Andre. Well, it's because we got that very large ember beforehand so that we can plus 15 our weapon. So let's go ahead and give it to him.
Well, I'll be. That's a brilliant ember you've got there. For all my years in the trade, that might be the finest. How's about you leave that ember with me? I'm just an old smith. I'd give my left arm for a gem like that. Well, thank you mightily for that. Now, just leave the rest to me. Andre of Astora gets the job done, you shall see.
And I know he will. So now we can reinforce our weapons from... I think we have to go in the modify. We have to go right here and we can start bringing these bad boys on up in the levels. So let's go ahead and pop a solo item, or a couple of them. Just so that we can kind of, you know, get what we need. So, I hope your guys' day is going well on this amazing Friday. I was at work, but my boss was just like, man, you need to go home. You ain't feeling well. So, I ended up coming home. Now, you see that I'm using a rapier, and the reason why I'm using a rapier right now is because of the high crit damage, and I was kind of wanting to utilize that, but we're going to go ahead and increase our claymore. And now we can go in here and start increasing it up. And now we have a Titanite slab, which we're going to utilize to plus 15 our weapon. So now we have a max weapon, which is quite nice. And you can modify it if you wanted to into something else, but I'm not going to modify it right now. And these are just the different paths. Now I did also give him the other ember that I got, that dark ember, so that I could you know, make a weapon into an occult weapon. So I did do that, but we're going to worry about that another time. And I also purchased that Knight of Victorious key, or that seal. I wanted to make sure I had that because it's kind of important for us to be able to utilize that. And today we're gonna actually use it. But let's go ahead and equip our Big Daddy sword, and we're gonna also put on our Havel ring. I think I probably passed it up. There it is. So that we can fast roll with all of our equipment on. And not only that, but we're also going to put back on our Rust Crest shield, so that we have that stamina boost, because we are wearing heavier armor, so it does put a little bit of a strain on our recovery. But now you're going to see that we're going to be hitting a lot harder. I mean a lot harder on these things, because one, we have a maxed out weapon, so for the most part we should be one-shotting the good majority of these things. And another time, whenever I have just some time and I remember to do it, I'm actually going to go ahead and utilize Snuggly the Crow to go and get some cool stuff. Like, I'm going to utilize that to actually go off and get some twinkle sprinkles. some twinkling titanite. And I do apologize about the shoddy commentary. I'm just still trying to recover. So if y'all can just trust me, then that would be amazing. And it feels like, oh, we now have the ability to reinforce our weapons right here if we wanted to. We can't go, I don't think are capable of going any further than the second path. But the last episode, you all saw me use the Gravelord sword. Or not the last episode, 2 episodes ago. I was just kind of playing around with that weapon because I've never played it before. It's a powerful sword, apparently, and I didn't know just how powerful it was. But this thing hits really, really hard. I mean, I think compared to what... Let's look at... My Claymore does 257, and this thing does 344. So this thing hits really, really hard. But I don't have the strength for it just yet. And it also does a bleeding effect, which is pretty awesome. I do have to say so myself. But it's really, really heavy. Now, I may be able to wield it. And fast roll, yeah. If I two-handed, I'm able to wield it. So we can roll with this for a little bit too. We're going to use the seal to open up this door, the Crest of Artorias. And it's going to open up a new little area in the Darkroot Garden. Now, you may be wondering, well, Stan, why are you coming over here now? Well, I have very good reason to, because we can't actually take on the boss in New Londo yet, and that's why I ended up having to come back. But let's read what the Crest of Artoria says. The crest opens a door in the Darkroot Garden sealed by ancient magic. The door leads to the grave of Sir Artorias, the Abyss Walker. Many adventurers have left for the grave, but none have returned, for they make easy prey for local bandits. With such dangers, the crest can do more harm than good in the hands of the uninitiated. And it's mainly talking about there are actually NPCs in this area that will come and attack you, and you can actually lead them to kill themselves. But you see that we have a bunch of NPCs, and they hit pretty hard. But if you come right here and die, it wouldn't be an episode for me if people just saw me not die. But what you can actually do, in fact, I'm going to switch back to my Claymore just so I can, block and stuff. But and I know how fast the animations are for this weapon. So if you come over here, a lot of times they'll actually walk themselves right off unless they've fixed it. And they'll just kill themselves. You can utilize this quite a bit to get some free souls. I don't use it all that much, but you can. Might as well go ahead and kill them. Just for the lulz. Now, there is a covenant over here. It's a really big PvP covenant. A lot of people use it. And, let's see if I can not get killed. And a lot of times people will come here a little bit earlier than what I did. I came here a little bit later. I have upgraded armor. I have upgraded everything. So I'm actually a little bit more overpowered than these guys, which is fine, But if you come here a little bit sooner, these guys can be really, really hard to deal with. But we're going to come right on over here. and talk to
Is
this
it
cat.
not so that thou art new? Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorius art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say. Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee. I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
So we're going to go ahead and join
I
her.
am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant. And here taketh this ring. If thou wearest that ring, it allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule. The clan is thine own family. To thine kinsman forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
What she is saying right there, first off, this is a big freaking cat talking to us. But I mean, we've been in a world where a giant butterfly shoots spells at you, and half-naked spider ladies, so I don't think that's really the craziest thing. But she is basically saying, so if I was to come up to this guy and then start attacking him, I would immediately get taken out of the covenant. Or any of those other guys that were inside of here that were attacking us before, if I was to attack them, then they would all come at me, or I would instantly be kicked out of the covenant, and I don't think I can actually get back into it. But it's actually a good thing to be in this covenant. If you really enjoy PvP, anytime someone enters into, especially this little area, anytime someone enters into the forest, well, you pretty much have a good time, because you can invade them, and you'll have multiple invaders come in on that person who's come in, even if they have friends with them. I think you can have up to 2 or 3 invaders with you, and you can all just kind of PvP. You get a lot of souls out of doing it, and it's actually quite fun. I may actually do this with a couple of buddies of mine, just for fun with you guys. But that's just to kind of give you a little bit of background on what's going on here. Now we have us an NPC right here.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear. Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Arvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance, for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you. Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunters with patience score the best kills.
So that's Shiva. Shiva's a really cool NPC. I love his armor set. One of my favorite armor sets. And then we have an invisible guy right over here. Doesn't have much to say. Now, what you actually want to do, and hopefully I don't screw this up, you kind of want to kick him off the edge. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. If you kick him off the edge and let him fall, and I ended up screwing up. Let's see if I can talk to Alvina and see if she'll fix it.
Oh, it is thee. Thine kinsmen are betrayed by thee. This doth bode most badly. No rest will ease thy rotting soul whilst
Well, I ended up screwing that up.
forever tormented thou shalt be.
What you can actually do whenever you do something along those lines, like you can go and I think you can probably go absolve your sins. I guess I'll find out if I've been completely kicked out. I didn't mean to actually kick the guy, but you know, it's what happens. Go see if his stuff is over there, the guy who I just kicked off because I want to get that stuff. Yeah, his stuff is there. The main reason why I want to get that stuff is because of the ring. Will she stop him?
Oh,
Nope. And I died again. So I've basically screwed up this entire thing. You gotta love it, man. It's not a playthrough by me unless I screw something up. Well, we're just gonna continue going on through, and now that we got that dark ring, I'll kill everyone and do what I can. And the PvP action that I was gonna do is now gonna be done on my second character. Oh, stupid tree. There we go, got him. Dang, those trees always get me, don't they? Sorry, I'm kind of being a little quiet. Don't heal. He actually had the great heal. If you use that spell, it'll actually heal everyone. So, at least everyone in the vicinity. Let's see if I can just get a home dude over here so I can take on Shiva by myself. Instead of having to worry about him popping up on me.
Turning on us from the very start. Have a look at my sword. For you, poor fool.
You poor fool. Let's see what we can get from him. To humanity, the Murakumo, the round shield. And my souls. And then you have Alvina, which she is not here anymore because I screwed up everything. So there is that. If you do end up attacking, just be mindful of that. Try not to do what I just did. On my second playthrough, I'll show you how you're actually supposed to get that ring. Not a minute. Now we have the stone armor. Now you may be wondering, why exactly was I all about that ring? Let me go ahead and take off some armor, so I can probably also need to take off like my heavy armor and switch it to that specific ring. So this ring allows you to do this specific little dodging animation. This is actually a really good ring, especially if you want to have a really good dex build. This ring actually is really good about dodging, because it increases your invincibility frames. So your iframes are actually much higher. So that's the reason why I wanted to get that ring. And plus, the whole idea of being able to flip like a ninja is always pretty cool. So let's go ahead and put back on our Havel's ring, and I'll probably end up trying to show you guys what exactly kind of build you can actually have having something like that, you know. And these little mushrooms, they're so cute, but at the same time, I'm purposely going around murdering them. Now these guys, they do the One Punch Man animation, so be very careful. They do a massive loads of damage if they hit you with that thing. I mean, they do a massive amounts of damage, and they also drop gold pine resin, so which is pretty good to actually use. You see that? That's how much damage he does. That's a lot of damage from a slow-moving mushroom. I thought he was about to do it again. He does a really, really strong uppercut, I believe, as well, but I didn't allow him to do it. This is not a mimic. And now we have an enchanted ember. So now we can have enchanted weapons. And I know I'm not doing very much along the lines of reading descriptions or anything like that, but I'm not going to make this a very long video. And you can backstab these little ones. Younglings. Where are you running, bro? It's okay. Just go to sleep. And we're just going to continue on through until we make it to a certain point that I'm not going to be able to continue on at. Because I want to actually go into the DLC before I actually go any further into this little area. And I could go ahead and just finish off this part, but I don't want to, because we'd be going up against one of my favorite bosses in this entire game. Now, be careful if you drop down here. There is a big cat that's just like Alvina, and there it is right there. And that thing will mess you up. If you were to drop down there, it would actually go Sonic the Hedgehog on you and do massive amounts of damage. And there's actually 2 of them in this area, so just kind of be careful. I think the whole thing that they tried doing is that they try to lead you over, because I think there's an item. See, there's the kitty cat. You see that? Thankfully, though, I do a lot of damage, so I am able to mess her up pretty good. But there is a second cat right there. I knew it was somewhere. Oh, there's 3 cats. Forgot. They do a lot of damage if they roll into you, as you just saw, but thankfully I do more, and so they weren't able to just outright destroy me like they have in the past multiple times. Like, I would get killed by these things all the time. But if you can handle yourself against them, then you should be fine. If you can do enough damage output before they can actually harm you, then you should be fine. And this over here is the little simple bridge that you can go down. I think there's an item down there, but you can go down here, and you should kind of recognize a bit where we're at. We actually could get here sooner, but we didn't. I decided not to come over here sooner. Yeah, I knew that there was an item. It's nothing important, but I knew there was an item. But you could actually come here much sooner if you wanted to, because down below is that Hydra that we came across earlier in the game. And you can actually come right down here and fight it. I probably will take that on in the next episode. So right now, we're going to head on. Actually, no. This is probably where I'm going to have to leave it off, because I have somewhere I have to be here soon. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave it off. Thank you for joining me and listening to my crappy commentary. And I hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend. Cheers.